Warning. The Freestyle Club contains adult language. It is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. Take the red pill. Take the red pill. Take the red pill. Take the red. Take the red pill. Take the red pill. Take the red pill. Take the red pill. Take the red pill.
Hey, this is DJ Michael Xtacy, and I'm the newest member of the Freestyle Club.
Welcome back to the Freestyle Club. And now, the conclusion. With your hosts, DaUnknownAdmin, Rafael Reyes, and CPR Jose Ortiz.
I was talking to a DJ that used to have a show way back in the day, way back to the live 365 days. And we were talking about, the explosion of DJs, especially in freestyle, doing live shows. And he said, his quote, "I wish we can go back to the days where you had to pay to get on air." Because that would have taken care of 90% of the DJs we have now.
Yeah, and it's kind of a rite of passage that, everybody that goes on Facebook Live has to do a freestyle show. I mean,
yeah, right?
It's a rite of passage.
It just seems like it's the easy way to get in, right?
Yeah, just like anyone that wants to become a recording artist, anyone that wants to become a DJ, they just play a little freestyle. And it works. It completely works. You may get somebody's attention. And that's what people want. You play. It's easy. Listen, just go get Freestyle's Greatest Hits from Tommy Boy, volumes 1 to 10, and just play every song on the volume 1. And then when you're done with that, play volume 2, and you're gonna get listeners because people love old school songs. They love that same replay of songs. Crying Over You, Dream Boy, Dream Girl, Spring Love. That's why I don't subscribe to that, because that's not the way that I've been in my career. I've always had my own path. So anyone that I earned because they want to listen to good quality new freestyle. Not to do a shameless plug, but that's what makes me different. That's what I feel makes me different than other people. Everyone is just okay with the norm. If I wanted to be a jukebox, I can go to the radio station, put on a CD, and go home. I don't have to be there. What's the point?
Absolutely. I have 50 million friggin' shows ever recorded, from freestyle.fm to everything. I could just play them and just sit there. I could sit there and make people watch me knit a sweater.
You had split off from your last station, and a couple other guys formed their own station.
Yes.
And I was telling you, the reason that this is all going down is because they accused you of reporting them. And what they didn't understand is that Facebook was already blocking anything with music in the videos. It wasn't that people were reporting them, hating on them, and that's why the videos were getting blocked. Is at the time, they were so wrapped up into their freestyle world that they didn't know what was going around in the outside world. Right.
Well, I was never being accused of reporting anybody. People were reporting us. Once me and Danny Styles decided to leave that station and do our own thing, basically things started happening that were weird, and we were being told and fed information from people that we were being reported from said station that we left. Which then started a whole thing, blah, blah, blah. Well, I sabotaged their station. I took everyone away from that station because every one of their DJs is on the Philly mix. No. All I did was I exposed them for what they were. And they had the wrong one when they thought I was going to play nice and just play in the sandbox. They knew what they were getting. When I was brought to that station by Jalissa and Manny Styles, they knew my show. They wanted my show because it was something different. It wasn't going to be cookie cutter, let me play Coro every hour on the hour bullshit. It was friggin' literally, a different type of show. It is versatile. You're going to get 3 rings of music. You're going to get oldies. You're going to get Motown. You're going to get disco. You're going to get freestyle. But I always kept true to the station's name and played freestyle for at least an hour and a half of my show, my 2-hour show. So for the first half hour, if I want to play reggae, so what? Who cares? If I want to play country, so what? It's my show. You're not paying me. Get over it. and that's what they didn't like. They didn't like the fact that I was like, I guess, kind of like the Howard Stern of that station. I guess, I don't know. I said I didn't lose sleep over it. The way that some of their people handled my people in chat rooms, that's what pissed me off. And because I don't tolerate anybody talking ill of anybody who follows me or supports me. You do that, then we have an issue. But as far as, everything else goes, I don't care what they play. I can care less what they do. It has no effect on me. It has no effect on Raph. It has no effect on Jose. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, and what I was trying to say was when the whole thing went down and the whole thing spilled out on my page, their thing was like, well, we're getting reported, and so therefore we're reporting them. It was kind of grimy, that it came out that way. My point is that they were so wrapped up in their freestyle world, they didn't understand that putting a disclaimer is not bulletproof to the music industry.
It doesn't do anything.
No, because you can ask the people on YouTube how well that worked for them, or you can ask the gamers on Twitch when they're streaming and they have music in the background, what happens to their streams?
Yeah.
Right. So what they didn't understand that on Facebook for months before they were getting hit by Facebook, house DJs were already been hit. They were moving. Yep. They were frustrated. People who put up wedding pictures, the father-daughter dances, were getting hit because of the music in the background. And this is the part that they didn't understand. They were so convinced that it had to be someone doing it to them. Because that's what they would do if they were in that situation.
Because freestyle people love that narrative that people are hating on them and they want to be them, and they get so enthralled in their 3 people listening to their iRadio station, but it's really 10,000, quote unquote.
Hey, don't take shots at my 3 people.
I apologize. They just want to continue those false narratives, man. It goes back to, them making themselves feel like they're really making this big difference and that they're going to be the ones to change the game. And if Freestyle.fm, who had 1,000 listeners, couldn't do it, they can't do it. They can't get 3.
I've always said that if Raph got really bored and Freestyle.fm came back, everybody else would be done. We would just take them down like small dogs.
I started WCPR FM and immediately I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm like, it's just not, it wasn't worth it. And, you were not the only person that was being accused. We were accused of a lot of things too. Raph and I were accused of taking members of an iRadio stations or their numbers and taking them with us. It was like the funniest thing. Like, Raph and I were like, what fucking numbers? They didn't have any numbers.
Look, anybody who can accuse me of anything they friggin' want for the simple fact of, Raph, my schedule. I'm too busy playing out, getting paid for what I do. So it's kind of like, I don't have time to scratch my ass, let alone report somebody. So whatever.
Well, that's one of the unique things that I love about your station is your guys, as opposed to these other freestyle stations, your guys specifically are working DJs. These are DJs that are out 1, 2, 3, 4 nights a week getting paid for their craft, and they're doing it on your show, on your station, for the love of it. It's not about trying to get gigs or trying to be famous. They're already doing this, and getting paid for it.
Yeah, none of like I said, I'd rather play music for one person who's generally into being open-minded and listens to and loves music than I would having 300 listeners. I would trade that one person for them any day. It's not about that. It never was, never will be. And that's the one thing. With me and Danny Styles, with United by Music, we have a genuine kind of relationship, not in a gay way, but we have a relationship. We respect each other.
I'm not judging, bro. I'm not judging.
That's okay. He is cute. He is cute. He's tiny.
This is gonna be a great show.
We go everywhere. We go everywhere when you bring me on the show. You kidding me?
I think we've been canceled. We're canceled.
I think everyone just stopped right now.
Oh well, you knew what you were getting into.
Subscribe to the Freestyle Club. Freestyle Club. On Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and Stitcher. Visit thefreestyleclub.com, CPRsClubhouse.com, and DaUnknownAdmin.com. The Freestyle Club. The Freestyle Club. Let's talk freestyle.
Can we really get back to a place where we can just enjoy the music and not really worry about numbers or who's popular
I
or
wish
whatever?
we could all be whisked away to Planet Rock and live happily ever after.
Well, I just, normally I don't address these things. I don't have the energy for it, but CPR is right. We were accused of stealing listeners from a station. Now,
how do you steal listeners? Did you put them in your pocket and carry
them? I have no
them?
idea. But the person who made the statement, I don't blame the person who made that statement because they were misinformed and they didn't really know anything. I blame his partner who should have known better and explained to him what the truth was, because it's his partner that I was giving advice to, helping him set up his station, and told him before he even made the changes to his station that it wasn't going to work, right? But before that, I just want to address the stealing part. They only had 2 listeners, so what are you stealing, right? That's the snarky answer. But more importantly, more factually, iHeartRadio came out a year before the station that we were stealing from.
iHeart Freestyle.
Right. Remember, because the statement is that we created a station to steal their listeners. But how can we do that if that station came out a year before your station did? And that's why I don't blame the person that made the statement. I blame this partner because he has that information.
Yeah, and also, for me, the issue was that, he didn't tell him, hey, did you tell him to give you all the money that was given to him by me? Did he show you the books, and how every month he would get, a 20 biweekly or a 20 weekly, or I would get a message and it would say, hey, they're going to cut my internet off. Can you give me some money to pay the internet so we can broadcast you? None of those things were mentioned, and then it just became a big situation where all I wanted out of that situation when that video was made was that I wanted Ralph and Ted to get an apology. I didn't care for one. I just wanted them to be apologized to because, again, Ralph is the originator of putting these boards and iRadio stations together, and he helped build these iRadio stations. I'm sorry, Ralph. I know I cut you off. Please continue.
The third thing is, and I don't want to take credit for anything. I just, people ask me, I tell them, and it's up to them to do what they want with that information, right? So the third thing is when the person told me what their plans were to create one station to play everything, I said no. Personally, my experience was that I had Freestyle.fm and we had a big brouhaha because we wanted the DJs to play what they wanted to play, but they were playing non-freestyle music, so that caused an issue with the listeners. Yeah, right. So what we decided to do was to split the freestyle and every other genre into 2 different stations. Now, some guys didn't want to stay. That's fine. They went on their own way. Xtacy stayed. Thank you, sir.
Yes, I did on both.
And the thing is that he was able to enjoy, the Freestyle.fm side of it, but also the all dance that was outpacing the freestyle station. It was doing better.
And I would probably, if I remember correctly, I believe both shows, my freestyle one and that one, held basically the same weight and numbers.
Yeah, and it was incredible because All Dance was only out for 3-6 months, and it was already sometimes during the day beating Freestyle.fm. But so my advice was to him was a genuine advice based on my experience. Split the stations. And you'll see.
Have 2 entities, right?
Right, and you'll see for yourself that the freestyle will do whatever the freestyle is going to do, but your other station will have a chance to grow. Unlike the freestyle station, and he didn't take my advice. He combined it, and look what he has now. It's only Facebook.
it's only going to grow if you have people that are behind you to help make it grow. You know, that's the thing is there's not many guys that are multi-genre able to play and be happy with mediocrity on one end and superstar fakeness on the other end. So, you know, that's the thing. That's, you know, the biggest thing with the Philly mix. I mean, the thing that was so appealing was it's called the Philly mix. It's a mix. It's not one thing. Now I play 80s new wave. I play friggin' ballad, Quiet Storm hours. I have 1 hour of freestyle that plays, and that's in the afternoon. I have 2 hours of disco, and then the rest are basically submitted for live shows or whatever. But being one genre is like a kiss of death, because you got to be able to give people variety and give them a chance to realize, hey, I have an open mind. I can think outside the box. Because there's a lot of good music out there in different genres that never gets played or gets overlooked.
I just think that we jumped the shark. I mean, how many more iRadio and Facebook Live freestyle shows do we need?
Well, I think we can use at least 3 more.
Well, you know what I was thinking the other day?
Well, it depends on how many more GoFundMe pages we can have to bring artists in.
Oh, wow. Yes. Like for me, I was thinking about the other day, what would go well right now is what happened with Freestyle.fm. Freestyle.fm didn't just appear out of nowhere. It was actually a couple of different websites and a couple of different shows that combined to make one. We all gave up our own websites, our own show, our own brand, and created a whole new brand together.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I think maybe needs to happen now is a consolidation of all these shows. But, no one's going to want to give up their brand, their station, their audience. It's a tough thing to do. It's not easy.
By the end, when you combine all these 5 radio stations, you're going to have 10 listeners.
And the other thing that I see is with the issue is when anything online, the golden rule is content is king. And when you're a radio station that doesn't have homegrown DJs and you're borrowing DJs from other stations to fill up your schedule, that's an issue.
But again, they're not going to go and listen to them on their app. Nobody cares.
No.
They gotta go to Twitter. They gotta go to Periscope. They gotta try all these different gimmicks, and the result is nothing.
Well, because that's their needing to have the visual to actually be able to look at you. That's what sucks. I mean, Freestyle FM, we didn't bring a video chat room in till a while. The end when we put Tiny Chat up there towards the end. But for the most part, we had a chat room. That was it. And you basically just read the posts and the threads that were on the website and listened to the music. And that's the way it should be. It's the way it started. It should never, ever deride from that. Because, now it's made too easy. Facebook is the devil. And it literally just sucks people's lives out of them. If you're not on Facebook, people don't understand that they can open another tab and still listen and go back to Facebook. They don't know how to do that. I think we need to put instructions up in crayon. But you're absolutely right. It's like your apps, all the money that's being spent on apps and all that other shit it's good for one thing. If you listen to it at work or something like that, where you can't be sitting there watching a video or whatever, you can still listen. But most people ain't doing that. They got Pandora, they got Spotify, there's just too many options out there for people to get their music that they want to hear, instead of being forced to listen to music that they already heard from 3 other DJs an hour before them.
And people want to be in control. They don't want to be played songs that they don't want to hear, especially when they're trying to cater to a small group of a small group of a small group, because again, if you're listening to the iRadio station's app and they have a Facebook Live DJ on, and that DJ doesn't know how to monitor his what he's outputting, you're gonna get a distorted audio on the app. Who wants to hear distorted audio? I'll just go and go to my playlist, or go into my list of music and play what I have on there. I don't want to listen to distorted music, and I don't want nobody choosing what I hear.
No, absolutely, and I definitely don't want to hear somebody freaking mouth gobble in the goddamn microphone all night either.
Oh my God, mouth gobbling.
With the Philly Mix and United by Music, I mean, we have something that there should be more of. I mean, that's the whole thing. That's mutual respect and a unity for music. We, I said, we don't step on each other. We promote each other. We try to help each other out because, it's not that we want to see one succeed more than the other. We just want to put out good products and good shows. And, Danny, other than Raph, Danny, I would definitely honestly say has been a huge help for me, especially with the video end of everything, with like using Wirecast and OBS and stuff like that. Because I'm a dinosaur. I've been around forever. To me, it's like the internet radio was like, okay, Raph, what do I do now? Raph, what do I do now? Raph, I know I just talked to you, but what do I do again? And it took a little bit, but especially using Sam Broadcaster, that was like friggin' geometry all over for me.
I still use Sam Broadcaster.
Yeah, I still have it on one of my probably prehistoric hamster on a wheel laptops. But it was just, I don't know. It's just, it needs to go back to being simple. Everybody, it's not as difficult as people are making it out to be. It really isn't. But for some reason, that Facebook is just I said, it's like crack.
Yeah, that's the issue, is that no one wants to leave Facebook because they see their numbers, and that number can be manipulated, and they don't care because it's about the e-ping. It's about the ego. It's about the numbers. It's not about the listeners. It's not about the love for the music. It's not about the people that you're spinning for. It's just about that number and what it means to you.
Most of them aren't there for the music, like I said earlier. I mean, they're there for the companionship of the chat room, and and the fact that they're on Facebook, it still gives them the ability to find out what little Susie's going to wear to the friggin' dance tomorrow night, or what you ate for dinner, or who. I just walked my dog and he pooped twice. Who fucking cares?
Well, the only dangerous thing about having these subgroups is that there are a lot of people out there that want to belong to something, and they're recruited by some of these subgroups, and what ends up happening is that they go all in for these particular subgroups, and then that's where the wars begin, because my show is better than your show, this iRadio station is better than this radio station, let me buy Facebook viewers for this Facebook Live video. Let me go do let me report this stream, and it just becomes a Facebook Live and a social media of pettiness, and that's how that video came about, trying to accuse Ralph and I of stealing listeners from a radio station that never had any listeners to begin with. So they had to apologize to Ralph and apologize to Ted. And for me, that was vindication. I mean, of course, the video that they put up dissing us was spread all around Facebook Live, right? And on Facebook.
I never saw
media, it. Right. But then when the apology only went to one group,
I never even saw that, because I definitely would have commented.
Well, here's the thing. That's another thing that Freestyle can't do right. They can't do drama right. The video, not to mock it, but first I thought it was one of those.
It's not only Freestyle; it's life in general, man. It's not just Freestyle.
You know what? In hip hop, they can do the drama right.
Yeah, they shoot you.
They know how to play it up. So when the album drops, everybody's buying it to see, you know, what's on there. What are they going to say next?
Yeah,
right?
Publicity, absolutely.
Right, but Freestyle can't even get that right because it didn't bring any views. You know, he didn't get any views. He didn't get even 1,000 views on that, you know. And what
it would sound really weird too, because I mean most freestyle songs are love songs, so it'd be pretty weird to have a dissing freestyle song.
No, but you know, if you're trying to bring light to an issue, then you know, and they tried sharing it, and you can't even break 1,000 views. That's pretty bad, you know, because everybody loves drama, you know. Everybody loves drama, especially in freestyle. You know, there's drama, and people come running. You know, even back then when we had the freestyle boards. You know, it would be a quiet week, and if someone said something about someone else, you know, then all of a sudden, you know, you have 150 people looking at that one thread. So,
look at what happened. Look at what happened with the Victoria podcast that we did here on the Freestyle Club. It turned into CPR doesn't promote the music for the music to be better. It does it because he wants to, you know. Control and all these stupid narratives. First of all, we don't make people talk about things that they don't want to talk about here. And second, we can edit the fucking show. So there's nothing on there on the podcast that the person didn't want there in the first place. We don't take conversations where people don't want to take them. They take them because they want to come here and vent. If that's what they choose to do, they you know, and that's what happened with Victoria. Victoria came here and she wanted to talk about iRadio stations. She wanted to talk about countdowns. You know, but the narrative on social media when they try to flip it is, oh no, CPR doesn't do that because he's trying to move the music forward. He's trying to do it because he's trying to manipulate the situation. That's a grown woman. You can't manipulate a grown ass woman. You know, you're a grown man, Michael, right? And can anyone convince you or talk you into talking about a subject that you don't want to talk to or talk about? No, you don't. No. No one's gonna make you do something. Everything is done. No. Everything is done with free will. You know, we've done over 10 episodes of the Freestyle Club. Nobody's come on here and said, "Can you please delete this part?" You know.
No.
Except one person, I believe they asked to delete one specific part. Or I think Ralph and I didn't want that person to look bad or that person to be looking a negative way, so we deleted it ourselves. But we try to protect the person when they come on the Freestyle Club and they speak to us. We attempt to delete certain things that are not going to be favorable to the person. So we try to protect them. But if a person that comes, I know you don't. But see, again, what we talk about here and we put out for people to listen on the podcast is because the person that's our guest is okay with what we put out there. They're going to take responsibility for what they said, which is something that no one can fucking do in freestyle these days.
You know what you sign up for. I mean, it's a free-form debate, show. I mean, there's nothing, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's like, when I did my interview, when I got DJ of the month for Philadelphia a couple months ago, half the interview the guy didn't want to put in there, and I told him, no, absolutely, put it in there. I'm not, I ain't proud, I ain't ashamed. It's fine, put it in there. It's all bit of, part of the story. And he just felt that certain aspects of my career didn't need to be public, and I didn't, and I actually was pretty offended by the fact they didn't do it, because it's a big part of where I am today. I mean, everybody has their downward spirals, and I got no problem talking about it. I ain't got no problem about talking about anything. I don't care.
Everyone has a success story on Facebook, though. On social media. Hey, look.
I mean, like I said, I had a downward spiral for a lot of years, man. And here I am, still relevant in the game. So it's a success. It is a success story. But the point is, with Facebook, is if more people kept shit to themselves, Facebook would go under.
You're right.
It's the look at me again. It's, hey, I'm miserable, I'm depressed. I post shit on Facebook just to fuck with people. You don't know how many people call the Suicide Squad out on me 80 million times. Dude, I love myself too much. That ain't never happening. So,
That's why I call him the meme master, because you could put up some crazy memes that make me laugh.
Exactly. Oh my God, you can't even have fun anymore. You put a meme up We put Planet Rock beat memes all week. You know how many offended people have hit me up in the inbox? It's a fucking meme. It's not meant to create this controversy. We already know we don't like songs with Planet Rock beats. Big fucking deal. You know, go somewhere else with your bullshit track.
Anyway, man. But I just want to circle back to this interview that X mentioned. I'm going to link it in the show notes. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I want people to read it and see how he was interviewed, but yet the interview wasn't about him. He wasn't saying me, I. He was saying, I was able to do this because that person helped me along the way. I was able to do that because that person came into my life. And that's what the whole article, that's what I took from the whole article, that he was acknowledging that it wasn't the X show. The X show is not just one person.
No, it is not.
It's a collective.
It's the freaking mastermind, Robbie Tronco. It's Gino Caparelli. It's Perry Angelosi. It's Eddie Stank, Adam Bennett. I mean, there's the list is so many of what makes me who I am.
May I ask you a question, Michael?
Sure.
This is serious. How hard was it for you to give somebody credit?
Not hard.
Well, and so that, you know, that's one of the biggest pet peeves that I have. People can't admit that they're wrong on social media when it comes to certain topics, and people can't give credit. I don't know what is it about giving credit that is really hard, but I applaud you for giving credit, and I can't wait to read this piece that they did on you.
Thank you. You know, like I said, as much as the interviewer, who's a very good friend of mine too, and a very great DJ, Eric Bartello, did a great interview with me. Asked a lot of very, very good questions. Like, you know, he kind of prepared himself. He kept trying to push it to where he wanted me to talk more on my achievements, and my achievements are nothing without other people being behind them, and still is to this day. I mean, you know, it's just funny. It's like I still have, loyal, great friend, supporter, followers, all the way back from my very first show from Freestyle.fm. And, you know, Raph and Veronique and Teddy are basically all to blame, you know, the blame.
The blame.
The thank for that. I mean, and we can't forget Chuck, too. I mean, Chuck was a part of it, too, back then.
Chuck who?
Chucky.
I know.
Chuckles.
I had to throw that in there because I know he's listening. So
Chuckles.
I know Chuck Fuller.
Everybody knows Chuck Fuller. Chuck Fuller, what? Full of a lot. Anyway,
full of it.
Full of semen. Anyway, anyway, but
listen, Chuck is a great guy. Just don't play Fortnite or Call of Duty Blackout with him.
First of all, the fact that you just said Fortnite and you're a grown man makes me really question a lot right now.
Dude, listen, I've got nothing to do with my time.
Please, so. go join a club like Fortnite Anonymous or something. Get some help and move on.
So listen, Blackout is out. Is out now. So the kiddie games have been put away. It's
wait till the next Star Trek game comes out. And you'll never hear from Raph again for weeks. This is funny. I just remember all the times when I wasn't allowed to call. No, I'm playing Star Trek. I'm out of Pepsi. Bear, Pepsi.
Make it so.
Oh my God. Yeah. As far as giving the credit to where it really belongs, it's not on me. It's on everybody else that has brought me to where I am. And you know, it's everybody from CPR to Raph to X-Man to I said that, to, you know, Smooth to Cliff Potts. All these guys make me strive to continue doing what I'm doing because they all do it for the right reasons. And that's for the love of music. And for the majority, the people I mentioned, they all still play it true and they play it correctly. You know, I actually can't wait to actually get back to playing. I'm playing a huge thing this Saturday night in South Philly for breast cancer. You know, that's the other thing is, I mean, I give up paid nights to go help other people. You know, we do a breast cancer benefit every year at Tall Man Joe's on Oregon Avenue, since we want to do shameless plugs. Best wings around ever, by the way. So, Raph, you really need to find a babysitter that night. It's right over the bridge from me, too. So
the babysitter, yeah. Good luck with that.
In fact, you can watch the baby from the club.
There
That's
you
how
go.
close you are. But, you know, it's all about giving back. I mean, you know, if people paved the way for you, you have to be able to give it back. And by me doing my iRadio station the way I was trained and brought up to do is my way of giving it back to Raph. I mean, granted, he likes it better when I grab his hips, but that's fine.
Oh, my God.
All in the
I have
hips.
to edit that out.
All in the
No,
hips.
you ain't editing nothing out.
All in the hips.
You edit nothing. So, I mean, I just didn't say grab your ears. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
At least said hips. You got them childbearing hips. What can I say?
Thank goodness we paid for that warning at the beginning of the show.
There's no warning. You knew what you were getting. I don't know what to tell you. Do you feel cheated? Anyway, so. But no, like I said, I mean, you know, everything that has gotten me to the point to where I am today, I am completely humbled and appreciated of. It's tough work to be the worst in the world. But I had a lot of help along the way, and I thank you, and I appreciate every one of you.
Well, at least you could mix two Planet Rock beats together. Thank you so
There
much.
you
No, like I said, man, Planet Rock was the toughest record ever for me to mix. I'd rather mix 5 hours of disco straight with no pitch control than mix Planet Rock.
All right, with that said, we're going to go on to freestyle news.
Those news?
The Freestyle Club. Freestyle News.
The Freestyle Club can be heard on the Philly Mix on Wednesday night right after Michael's Ecstasy show.
12 noon on Wednesdays with a exclusive replay after my show, yes.
There you go, everyone. So be sure to tune in to thefillymix.com. You have an Android app, right?
Yes, I have an Android app. Yes, I don't want to listen to, but it's fine. I have it. And it's free.
It's free, so be sure not to download it and not to listen to the show.
You get a free box of marshmallows when you download it.
And now it's time for the big hit of the week.
This is the Freestyle Club. Pick hit of the week.
This week's big hit is brought to you by the Philly Mix, where you can get 69 all the time.
With a 68 where you do me and I owe you one.
Michael Xtacy, what is your big hit of the week?
Sissy Penis Factory. Everybody fuck now.
Warning. The Freestyle Club contains adult language. It is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Start to moan. Dixon plays Poontang is live in effect, and I don't waste time rocking the boat if you don't mind. Fuck to the rhythm, fuck to the rhythm, fuck. And I'm here to combine sex with lyrics to make you wet in your pants. Take a chance, come on and bang, fellas, grab a hoe, don't wait, make a date. It's a goal and I'm just a mole, trying to squirt a nut inside your what? On the dance floor, so yo, give it up. Hands like a snake, come on and take a piece of ass over here, a piece of ass over there. The crowd is stuck and I like to fuck. Party people in the house, come on and fuck.
Come on, let's fuck, baby. Let my pussy take control. Let my juices move you. Fuck. Let my pussy take control. Let my juices move you.
Rafael Reyes, what is your pick of the week?
My pick of the week, and I want all you freestylers to pay attention, because this track will blow your mind. Once you hear this track, all other songs will be ruined for you. It is Africa Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force, Planet Rock, Tommy Boy Records. And if you're feeling naughty, get the Ghetto remix.
This is definitely the end of the pick of the week. It's over.
No.
It's over, fine. From
It
Angel
doesn't
Bettis
end.
to Reggaeton Pick to now the Soul Sonic Force.
And don't forget Sissy Penis Factory.
Just get funky. Okay. Just get on down. Okay. Bambaataa's getting so funky. Okay. Yeah. Just start to chase your dreams about the beats. Make your body sway. Socialize. Let your soul lead the way. Shake it down.
Classic Hit of the Week. It goes back to 2012. It's a song on Robin's Entertainment. It's the Ultraviolet UK, UV UK, and Blink. And you can check that out right now. One of my favorite new school style freestyle songs of all time. Until next time, as CPR saying goodbye. And remember,
Peace, love, and freestyle.
Subscribe to the Freestyle Club. On Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and Stitcher.
Once in my life I realized what I've been given in an instant. I don't need this to end to understand, but I'm gonna miss it, I can't believe how the